Hello, thank you so much for clicking on this video and welcome to my 5th update on my Pendos Eyeshadows project. This project was created by Alexi and I have a channel on the description so you can watch her videos. So this update was a good one for me because I hit 2 pans. I wasn't really counting on it. I was probably counting on 1 pan at least, but I hit 2 pans, which is a good thing because now I can roll in 2 new eyeshadows and I'm excited about it. I also bought 1 new palette, so my numbers went a bit up. I bought the ColourPop Mocktail palette. It's just this 4 eyeshadows, this quad palette, so yeah, it just went up by 4 numbers, so it isn't that much, but it is this little palette and I feel like it's really cute. It's really like my type of palette when it comes to neutrals. Yeah, my color story was like this. It was a bit interesting. It wasn't the most cohesive one, but it worked out. I mostly used the pink shades at first and then I kind of stopped using them because who knows if I hit pan in one of them. And yeah, it was not my favorite color story. I also didn't feel like creating a lot of looks this past month, so that could be it. So yeah, I ended up using my Panda palette the most, and you can check it right here so you can watch my latest update on that. But yeah, it wasn't an amazing month in terms of looks. I also didn't feel like creating loads of them. I did mostly the same look and it wasn't that interesting, so yeah, let's start. So the first shade that I had to use was from the W7 Vivid Punchy Pick palette. This shade was here from the intro and I can say that I finally hit pan on it. Yay! Yeah, it's such a small little pan like the other one that I hit the previous month, but as soon as I hit pan on it, I didn't feel like using it anymore. And this one I used 3 times this month as a total of 37 times. It took me a bit too long to hit pan on it, but I finally did and I'm happy this is out. So yeah, I'm excited to get a new palette and I hope it's not a pink shade because I don't really want to work with pinks right now. The next shade is from the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Blink Pause palette and this shade is the darkest shade of the palette, so it's right here. It's the shade Berry Treasure. It's this one and as you can see I don't have pan on it. It's a purple shade, like a purplish black shade with glitter particles, and I really like it, but I haven't been feeling like I want to use it. I was mostly using it with the previous pinkish purple shade, but when I hit pan on that shade I kind of stopped using this shade and I was thinking about rolling it out of this project, but because I hit pan on another shade I was like, I will probably use it 1 more month and probably in the next month if I don't roll out anything I will roll this one out because I'm kind of tired of this one. I want lighter shades, but this one is staying. Now for the third shade I had to use, this was from the Douglas Eyes eyeshadow palette, 12 eyeshadows, nude/gold. I never know the title, the name of this palette, so I always read the full name, but it's an old palette so I don't think it's that important. But the shade that I was using, or one of the shades that I was using, it's the 9th shade of the palette and as you can see I finally hit pan on it and it's such a huge pan. It's the biggest pan of the palette right now, which is amazing, but I really liked using this shade. It was super versatile for me. I could use it with pink shades when I was using the pink shades or with more neutral shades, and I really enjoyed it. Actually, I used it 13 times this month as a total of 32 times, but to hit pan I only used it 28 times, keeping in mind that I used this shade before it was in the project, so yeah. But now let me go for the next shade and then I'll come back to this palette. The next shade is from the W7 Vivid Glowing Green palette and I'm working on this last shade. It's the 9th shade of the palette as well and it's just this topper green shade. I like it, but I have decided that I will only use it 20 times and then I will roll out. Because for one, this shade I used more than 20 times and like it's not near pan at all. And also these shades are super unique because these are the only topper shades in my collection and I don't really feel like I want to hit pan on them, so I will only use this one 20 times and then I will roll it out and it will be fine by me. I will probably be able to do that in the next month because this month I used it 12 times, so I just need to use it 8 more times and then it's gone. So yeah, and now for the last shade from the Dogus palette, and that one is the second shade, and this one I don't have pan. And I'm not near pan, I think. I only used it 12 times this month as well. And I could have used it in this little part right here because I dug my nail years ago in it. And I could have used it in there so I would hit pan faster. But I'm kind of that person that just likes to use the middle part of the pen. I don't know, like in every eyeshadow that I use, I try to use just like the middle part of the pen and go from there. So yeah, I'm using it in the middle. It's not my favorite shade. Last month I was kind of like, I don't want an inner corner shade, and then I got this shade. And this isn't really an inner corner shade because it's super powdery. If this was more like a buttery formula, it would be better for an inner corner shade, but it's super powdery, so I'm still figuring out how I am supposed to use it. I can do those lighter lid type of looks, but I don't really know how to do them. And with this shade, it's really not the best. It's really powdery, but I will still use it because I want to finish this palette eventually. It will probably take a while, but who knows. But these were all the palettes that I had to use this month. So this palette is out and one of the shades from this palette is out. So let's roll in 2 new eyeshadows so I can see what I'm going to work in the next month or in this month. So now I have 221 shades available because I added 4 new eyeshadows. I also have 9 eyeshadows with pan, so that means I have 3.7% of my collection with pan. Last month I was at 3.3, so I went up even though I bought a new palette, but it's just 4 shades, so it's not that big, so yeah. So let's see the 2 numbers I will have to work on. 50 and 76. Okay, I'm curious. I will look for the palettes and then I'll see the actual eyeshadows with you. Hello again, so this is the palette that I will be working on. I actually rolled in 2 eyeshadows from this palette, which is good because then I have like everything in one palette, kind of 2 shades in one palette. And the 2 shades that I will have to use, or the first shade I will have to use is the second one. So that one I really do think it's an inner corner shade, so this year I will for sure hit pan on an inner corner shade because that's what's happening. I keep rolling in lighter shades or inner corner type of shades, and that shade is the shade Beam, and it's this one. It's an inner corner shade. I'm not bad about it, but yeah, it will probably be my first pan on this palette, which is not that bad. It's pretty good and I'm happy about it. And the second shade is the shade 28, the shade Mocha, and I think that one is, yeah, it's this one. I worked on this shade last year just for a little while, and of course I don't have any pan in it. I have a bit of a dip, not that big. This shade kind of reminds me of the one in my Panda palette, the Cypress Umber shade. It's just a dark brown. This is a bit lighter, but it's still a brown. I will use it, but if I feel like it's too similar to that one, I will only use it 20 times and then roll it out. So yeah, let's see if in those 20 times I'm able to hit pan on it or no, but this one I'll for sure try to hit pan on it. This one, I don't really know, but I'm happy that I have 2 eyeshadows in the same palette because it's really useful. So these are all the palettes that I have to work on. I have 2 palettes for Morphe. Last update I had 2 palettes from the W7 and now I have 2 palettes from Morphe, so it seems like it will be like 2 for 2. But yeah, I'm excited about it. So my color story is looking like this. It's nothing spectacular, it's pretty neutral. But let's see if in the next update I'm able to hit pan on anything. I know that I can roll this one out if I use it those 20 times. And I will probably roll this one out as well if I don't hit pan in anything else. But yeah, this was my video. I hope you liked it. If you don't want to miss any of my updates, please subscribe to my channel. I hope you have an amazing day and I'll see you next time. Bye!